It's not just a new kind of engine, it's a quiet revolution brewing beneath the roar of city traffic. What if everything we thought we knew about powering cars turned out to be wrong? Not just outdated, but completely unnecessary. No gasoline stations, no charging cables, only water. Ordinary, silent, abundant water. Toyota, the company that once popularized the hybrid car, is now aiming for something even more radical. A future where cars don't emit, don't idle, and don't accelerate climate disaster just to keep moving. It might sound like science fiction, but working prototypes are already here. The chemistry behind it isn't new, it's ancient. The impact, if it works, could turn the entire transportation industry upside down. So what exactly is Toyota building, and why is the rest of the auto world barely talking about it? Both gasoline-powered cars and electric vehicles are showing their limits. Stand on any urban street and you'll see smoke, hear engines, and breathe pollution. But what's more dangerous is what you can't see. Nearly every car today is connected to a massive, global system that depends on burning fossil fuels. There are over 1.4 billion vehicles worldwide, and the vast majority still run on gas or diesel. Yes, it's convenient, but it's also destructive. It damages not only the atmosphere, but also human health. Gas prices skyrocket with every geopolitical crisis. Living near major roadways increases your chances of developing serious diseases. And though electric cars promise a cleaner path, they come with their own hidden issues. Most of their power comes from lithium-ion batteries, which are expensive and resource-intensive to create. Mining the raw materials involves stripping mountains and exploiting vulnerable communities. In countries like the Congo, child labor and unsafe working conditions are linked to cobalt extraction. And then there's the waiting. Charging a battery, even with fast tech, still takes far longer than a gas refill. That's manageable for local errands, but on road trips, it becomes a major problem. Infrastructure to support widespread EV use is still uneven and unreliable in many parts of the world. Electric cars may not release fumes on the road, but their production leaves a significant carbon footprint. From battery factories to strained electrical grids, the system powering them is far from clean. So while EVs are progress, they're not the finish line. And if there's a way to skip the battery altogether, the world is ready to listen. Toyota is betting that hydrogen might be that answer. Before batteries dominated the headlines, hydrogen had already made a quiet entrance. It's the simplest, lightest element in the universe, and one of the most plentiful. For decades, though, it was pushed aside. Too costly, too risky, too far-fetched. But now, as battery-based solutions show their flaws, hydrogen is stepping back into the spotlight. And this time, it's more than just a concept. Hydrogen doesn't require the same destructive mining processes as batteries do. It can be produced from water through a method called electrolysis. Inside a fuel cell, it reacts with oxygen, not with fire or combustion, but with quiet chemistry. The only output? Electricity and water vapor. No exhaust, no soot, no toxic gas. What makes hydrogen so promising isn't just its cleanliness, it's its efficiency. Refueling takes minutes, not hours. Unlike batteries, which add weight with more energy, hydrogen stays light. It's scalable to everything from compact cars to semi-trucks to aircraft. Where lithium struggles, long-haul transport, heavy cargo, hydrogen thrives. Toyota isn't dabbling in this technology. They've been developing it steadily for years. While many automakers doubled down on electric, Toyota quietly forged a different path. They refined, they tested, they patented, and now they're revealing their vision. A vision in which hydrogen may not be a side option, but the main highway forward. Their breakthrough centers on water and how it's turned into clean fuel. By splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen using electrolysis, they've built a new fuel cycle. What sets their method apart is how efficiently it works, using green power like solar and wind. They've applied high-temperature electrolysis to reduce energy requirements, and they've moved away from rare metals, slashing costs in the process. The result is a fuel system that begins and ends with water. Water goes in, powers your trip, and leaves behind only steam. Toyota didn't invent this process, but they've made it scalable and practical. Their focus goes beyond the car itself. They are building an ecosystem, no mining disasters, no endless hours at a charger. Just water, air, and electricity forming a loop of clean transportation. It answers one of the biggest questions of the century. Can we travel without destroying the planet? Toyota's approach suggests the answer might be yes, and for once, the technology doesn't ask us to compromise. So how does this actually work in a car? It starts by extracting hydrogen from water at a production site. The hydrogen is stored in strong, pressurized tanks, engineered for extreme safety. When you start the vehicle, hydrogen flows into the fuel cell. There, it meets oxygen from the air. This chemical reaction produces electricity on the spot. That electricity powers the electric motor, and you start moving quietly, smoothly. The only thing coming out of the tailpipe is water vapor. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's fast. Refueling the hydrogen tanks takes less than 5 minutes. Toyota's storage tanks are built from carbon fiber composites, strong, light, and built with safety in mind. If there's a leak or pressure issue, sensors trigger instant shutdowns. Venting systems safely release hydrogen to prevent danger. The whole system is as safe as, or safer than, traditional combustion engines, and the driving experience? It's quiet, powerful, and premium, like a luxury EV, but with none of the range anxiety or charging hassle. What Toyota has created is a fully functional alternative to combustion engines. And the best example of that is the Mirai. The Mirai isn't just an idea, it's a hydrogen sedan that's already on the road. First introduced in 2014, it's now in its second generation. With a range of over 400 miles and refueling in just minutes, it challenges electric norms. It delivers strong horsepower, smooth handling, and whisper-quiet driving. But the real magic is what's under the surface. No exhaust emissions, no battery packs to charge, just clean hydrogen energy. It proves that hydrogen is not a concept, it's a reality. Toyota doesn't ask for blind faith, they offer working results. And that's what separates them from the water car scams of the past. In history, many have claimed to run cars on water with no actual science. From Stanley Meyer's controversial dune buggy to hoaxes like JPX, the past is littered with fraud. Courts dismissed these claims, and scientists revealed the energy flaws. So when Toyota says water-powered, skepticism is fair, but they're not splitting water inside the car, they're producing hydrogen beforehand the right way. Their entire system is grounded in well-established science. They've filed hundreds of patents, opened research labs, and proven the tech with physical vehicles. It's not about wishful thinking, it's about scaling up what we already know works. Toyota is refining the achievable, not chasing fantasies. And now, after decades of quiet progress, they're stepping into the spotlight. Because this time, they're not just building cars, they're building a movement. Hydrogen is more than just a fuel, it's becoming the heartbeat of a cleaner future. Toyota sees it not as a backup to batteries, but as a bold new direction. Unlike other automakers racing to perfect lithium tech, Toyota has quietly followed a different map. They've kept working on hydrogen while the spotlight focused on electric cars. Now, as EV limitations come into view, their long game is finally making sense. Hydrogen doesn't need to be dug from the earth in the same way as lithium or cobalt. It can be created from water through electrolysis, powered by renewable energy like sunlight or wind. Toyota's engineers have found a way to do it faster, cheaper, and cleaner than before. They use high-heat processes to improve efficiency and skip the need for rare metals. This means less damage to the planet and to people. What they've built is a fuel ecosystem that starts and ends with water. Water is split, hydrogen is made, the car runs, and then water vapor is released back into the air. Nothing burned, nothing wasted, nothing left behind, but mist. Toyota didn't invent this cycle, but they've refined it until it's ready for real-world use. They've focused not just on driving clean, but on producing fuel cleanly too. That's the real breakthrough, building a loop that's as sustainable as it is powerful. It's not a machine, it's a complete vision for transportation that doesn't rely on destruction. With this setup, there's no waiting at chargers, no grid overload, no supply chain drama. It's just clean power on demand with a refill time that rivals gas stations. The question Toyota is answering is this: can we move the world without moving backwards? And with each advancement, the answer looks more like yes. Here's how the system operates inside the vehicle. First, water is used to produce hydrogen through electrolysis, done in a centralized plant. The hydrogen is compressed and stored in high-strength tanks built into the car. When the car starts, that hydrogen flows into a fuel cell system. There, it meets oxygen from the atmosphere and produces electricity through a chemical reaction. This electricity powers the motor and gets the wheels turning. There's no ignition, no pistons, no explosions, just a smooth conversion of elements. The only thing released is a puff of water vapor. It's silent, efficient, and produces zero pollution from the tailpipe. The tanks take less than 5 minutes to refill, no need for long stops or charging stations. Toyota's tanks are made from carbon fiber composites that can withstand huge amounts of pressure. They're lined with sensors to detect leaks and shut off instantly if there's an issue. In case of emergencies, venting systems safely release hydrogen before danger can arise. This makes them among the safest energy storage systems in the automotive world. And because the whole process is chemical, not mechanical, it's much quieter. The ride feels like a luxury EV, but without the battery bulk. There's no lithium pack underneath, number 12-hour charging delay, and no cobalt trail behind the wheels. What Toyota has made is more than a drivetrain. It's a replacement for a century-old engine model. The most advanced version of this vision is already driving on real roads. It's called the Mirai, and it's not a concept car, it's a production model. Launched in 2014 and constantly improved, the Mirai is Toyota's flagship hydrogen vehicle. It travels over 400 miles on one refill and fills up in under 5 minutes. It delivers 182 horsepower, 300 Newton. Meters of torque and the calm of an electric ride. But unlike battery EVs, it doesn't require a massive charging network. It runs on compressed hydrogen that reacts in a fuel cell to create motion and water vapor. Toyota has refined every component: stronger tanks, lighter fuel cells, smarter integration. It's already being driven in Japan, California, and across parts of Europe. Each version of the Mirai is more cost-effective and more efficient than the last. Toyota isn't asking people to imagine the future, they've already built it. And they've done it while others mocked or ignored the hydrogen path. Because history is filled with false promises around water-powered cars. From Stanley Meyer's infamous claims in the 1990s to companies like JPX in the 2000s, the track record is rough. Many of these water cars were exposed as scams, violating basic laws of energy. They claimed to run entirely on water with no external power input, a physical impossibility. Courts ruled against them, scientists debunked the tech, and public trust vanished. So when Toyota talks about water-powered vehicles, skepticism is understandable. But Toyota's approach doesn't rely on fantasy. It's grounded in tested chemistry and decades of R&D. They don't claim cars can split water inside the engine and run forever. They produce hydrogen from water externally, store it safely, and use it responsibly. They've filed hundreds of patents, shared research, and built physical models to prove it works. This isn't magic, it's science, refined to industrial scale. And now that it's reliable, Toyota is expanding it far beyond cars. Their hydrogen vision stretches across industries and borders. They've built hydrogen-powered buses already operating in Tokyo. They've installed backup generators at major events like the Olympics. They've even created systems in Thailand that convert waste into hydrogen energy. Long-haul trucks, ships, airplanes, and buildings are all part of their roadmap. Hydrogen can power anything that needs long-range, high-energy fuel. It can be stored for months, transported safely, and used in remote or urban locations alike. One major obstacle remains: infrastructure. Right now, there aren't enough hydrogen stations to support wide-scale adoption. But Toyota is actively working with partners to build that network. California, Japan, and Germany are early leaders, but others are quickly joining. Once the network is in place, hydrogen becomes not just clean, but convenient. Unlike solar or wind, it doesn't depend on weather. It can support electrical grids, stabilize city blocks, or fuel industrial zones. So while electric cars dominate headlines, hydrogen is catching up quietly and powerfully. Toyota isn't just building vehicles, they're laying the groundwork for energy independence. If their plan succeeds, water won't just give life, it'll give motion. This is about more than cars, it's about who controls the energy that moves the world. Toyota is betting on a future where we don't have to rip the earth apart to keep going. A future where roads are clean, cities are quiet, and energy is renewable, local, and limitless. They've taken basic chemistry and turned it into global momentum. And they're no longer alone. Governments are watching, competitors are racing to catch up. The age of hydrogen is beginning, not with noise, but with a whisper. And if Toyota is right, that whisper may just echo across the highways of tomorrow.